Okay, let's picture this. You've just eaten. Your body suddenly has this influx of, well, fuel, glucose, right?
Exactly. It hits your bloodstream pretty fast.
And your body needs to manage that surge. So today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that, what happens with your blood sugar, a really key hormone, and interestingly, how exercise plays a part.
Yeah, it's a fascinating process. And for this, we're looking at some insights from a YouTube video, Insulin, Exercise, and Plasma Glucose from Metabolism Made Easy.
Great source. So our goal here is to really unpack that whole post-meal situation, the glucose spike, insulin's role, and where activity fits. Let's start right after the meal. Glucose levels, they shoot up.
They really do. You see a pretty rapid rise in plasma glucose. That's the carbohydrates from your food breaking down and entering the blood.
Okay, fuel's arriving,
Yeah.
and the body has a sensor for this, right? It triggers a response.
Absolutely. Almost immediately as glucose rises, insulin secretion ramps up too. It's released from the beta cells of the pancreas.
The beta cells, they're like the watchmen for blood sugar levels.
Constantly monitoring, yeah. And when glucose goes up, they release insulin.
So what's insulin's main instruction right after a meal? What's it telling the body?
Its primary job then is twofold, really. Get glucose out of the bloodstream and into certain tissues and signal for it to be stored.
Okay, uptake and storage. Which tissues are we talking about for uptake?
The big ones are muscle tissue and adipose tissue, fat tissue.
Muscle and fat. And they're significant because they make up a lot of our body mass.
Exactly, that's key.
Right.
Because they're so large, they can potentially take up a lot of glucose.
Right. So how does insulin actually facilitate that? How does it get the glucose into the muscle and fat cells?
This is where it's quite elegant. Insulin signals to these cells to increase the number of glucose transporters on their surface, specifically transporters called GLUT4.
GLUT4. So insulin is like unlocking doors, or maybe putting more doors onto the cell surface.
Pretty much putting more doors out there, yeah. Insulin binds to its receptor, and that triggers a process inside the cell that moves these GLUT4 transporters, which are normally inside the cell, up to the cell membrane.
Ah, okay. So more open doors means more glucose can get out of the blood and into those muscle and fat cells.
Precisely. And because muscle and fat are such large tissues, activating these GLUT4 transporters can pull a significant amount of glucose out of circulation, helping to lower blood sugar levels back down.
Makes sense. They act like major glucose sponges, essentially, when insulin gives the signal.
That's a good way to think about it.
Okay, so that covers the uptake part. You also mentioned storage.
Yes. Insulin also promotes the storage of glucose, mainly as glycogen. This happens particularly in the liver and also in muscles themselves.
Glycogen, that's like the body's readily accessible carb reserve.
Exactly. Short-term storage.